Hey, it's Laura Boozer, the Fascia Pro. I was out on a run just a bit ago and I got really excited thinking, my exercises I did this week did amazing. I moved easier, my hips were more stable. And if you have low back pain, you have SI dysfunction and sacral iliac joint issues, if you have pelvic pain, this is going to be an amazing little trick that I'd like for you to try and do a couple times a week to help you turn back on your deep pelvic autonomic stabilizing muscles. So typically when people think about doing hip exercises, they're thinking about squats and lunges and all that, and they're fantastic. Although a lot of us, when we're doing them, we're compensating, and it's not our fault. The nervous system is doing its best to move you through space the best way it knows how, but it's compensating. How do we know if it's compensating? Well, you know by pain, number one, but I know when I watch you move through the years of doing assessment protocols and whatnot, just basic movement patterns tell us if your nervous system is compensating. The main one is hip flexion. So when people go into hip flexion, when we go into hip flexion, or when 2-year-olds go into hip flexion, they could squat like this perfectly. But if you squat and your knees come together, like I see many athletes happen, my basketball players shooting free throws, they go down into a squat and their knees come together. Or my runners, when they come to bring their knee up, instead of the knee tracking neutral, it tracks like this, and the foot goes out, knee goes in. Or at the end, when they are supposed to be kicking, the kick of the run up here, the kick goes a little like this. Wrong. If the glute med, the deep core autonomic stabilizing muscles that live right here, if they were actually firing when the knee goes up, it, instead of going like this, it would go whoop and go perfect straight out in front of the hip. Likewise with the foot in the back, if the ankle kicks out, whoop, if it was firing, it wouldn't kick out like that. So if you're a runner, I encourage you to have a video of yourself. Look at it and see if that happens. Probably don't have to tell you, because your hips and your back probably hurt. Maybe even your feet hurt. Have you ever been told that you need arch supports or whatnot? That's another challenge that comes from that. That's a whole nother video though. So today though, we're going to talk about how to turn back on gluteus medius, gluteus minimus. Grab a hand towel. This is what happens to white towels when you live with a bunch of dogs. Used to be kids, but I got rid of them. They graduated, moved on their own. Okay, take the towel, fold it in half, half again. Roll it up as tight as you can. And what we're going to use this towel for is to stop that compensating pattern that I was talking about. So in a side leg raise, back in the day of Jane Fonda, you know, we did a ton of clamshells and fire extinguisher, I don't remember what those things were called, but leg raises similar to what we're going to do right now. But again, we did it by compensating, and we're going to shut those things off. So when I'm teaching you a neurological reintegrating pattern, it is going to be more focused on what doesn't move as opposed to what's moving. So let's figure that out right now. Where we want to be in space when we lay down is we want the ribs not to move. Okay, when our leg goes up, we don't want the hip to go up. When we do this little bit of a tilt, we don't want the ribs to come forward or the belly to come forward. So the way we clean all of this up is engage your core. I like to use a little shh action, exhale with a sound. That helps turn back on another autonomic muscle that should be firing when we breathe, called your transverse abdominis. So when you go shh, you'll feel this deep muscle fire. It'll help you remember to engage your core. Ribs come more towards the pubic bone and keeps your upper body square. Then the pelvis, you're taking your towel and it's going to go between your hip bone and your ASIS. So greater trochanter is what this is called, of the hip. So this is a leg bone. This is the ASIS, the hip bone, and it's going halfway in between. So halfway in your pelvis. So we're going to lift up. This bottom leg's going to be at 90 degrees in front of us. So we're going to lift up. We're going to put our towel. If you have a half roller at home, you can use the half roller. Turn where you can see real good. Okay, we're going to put the towel not underneath our waist or our back. It's underneath the hip bone. leg is at 90 degrees, core is engaged, top leg, let's check this out, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle. Should be in a straight line right here. If you're at home and you want to move over against a wall, that's a great setup to do, because that will help you be aware that your leg is neutral. You'll have to pay attention to it when we are doing our leg raises without the wall. If you don't have a wall behind you like I don't, you'll have to pay attention that it is behind you. So one way we can help that is we're going to put an arm out in front of us to help keep our body rolled forward. So engage the core, slight little tilt of the pelvis. We've got the roll that's keeping our hips stacked. If by chance you don't have something underneath here, you're gonna have to make sure that you are extending this leg like you're putting footprints on the wall out here. Hips are stacked, slight roll forward. So setup looks good. Here we go with our leg raise. So lifting the heel and back down. Just one or two of those, if you are staying in this pattern and you have shut off all the compensating movements, you should already feel this lovely little feeling in the deep hip. So holding our leg up, we're going to turn the foot and the leg down towards the ground. Again, don't let anything else move. Check your tilt of the pelvis, check your stack. The stack should stay solid with this towel underneath us, and keep rolled forward. If you don't have the wall, make sure the leg is behind you. Then come neutral, then turn the leg up. Now, when you turn the leg up, I just felt my body want to roll back a little bit because I don't have my hand out. So keep your hand out and turn up. Hold that for a second. Let the brain figure out, reintegrate. Ooh, there's the muscle you want me to fire. Yep. Turn it neutral. Turn it back down. Turn it neutral. Turn it up. That's a tough one. We call this lateral rotation. Neutral. Turn it down or in. Medial or internal rotation. There's the fancy words. Neutral. Turn it up. Check everything. Are your abs in? Is your pelvis slightly tilted? Back to neutral. Are you stacked? And are you rolled forward? Now let's raise it up and down. Doesn't that feel lovely? Up and down. Up and down. Whoa! Makes you want to turn into a singer. I won't do that to you though. Up and down. Now a little pulse, but before you pulse, contract, tilt. Are you stacked? And are you rolled? If you're not up against the wall, make sure you're straight. Now let's pulse it up. Yep. So you might be noticing right now that there's muscles you didn't even know you had that are firing. That is helping your autonomic nervous system. Autonomic meaning you don't think about it. That's what your nervous system just does. You take off to walk. You don't tell any muscles what to do. Your autonomic nervous system does. We're turning on some muscles that are gonna help. Hold. How about we turn down one more time? You're probably thinking, how about we not? And turn it up. Neutral. If you are shaking, high five. Your brain has found its pattern. Turn it up. Now let's just go all the way down. All the way up. All the way down. All the way up. Oh, and call it a day. Holy glute me, glute min. You did awesome though. So you're welcome. And I'm so excited though, if you will put that into your routine, your neural strength routine, not your exercise routine, do that a couple times before you go to the gym. I promise you it's going to help you move better, it's going to help you feel better, and live a better quality of life. And that's what we're here for, right? So thank you so much for watching. If you would, subscribe, like, follow, whatever platform you're watching this on, so that I can continue to bring you more great videos. Have a great day. Happy hips.